guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Casey. And lately I've been seeing a lot of commercials about back to school, girls decorating their dorms, getting things organized. So I thought back on my time in college and I decided to make a top 11 list or advice that I would give to someone who is entering college, who is already in college, or even somebody in high school who is thinking about going into college. So if that's something that you're looking for, keep on watching. Okay, let me give you guys a little bit of an intro on me and my college experience. It took me 6 years to finish school, and I took like 1 or 2 semesters off because I don't know, I just didn't really want to go to school anymore. It wasn't until me and an ex broke up where I decided that I needed to get my shit together. So that's when I decided to go back into school, which is why it took me long. Not only that, is I was never really full-time. I don't even know if in the beginning I was full-time, but I was always taking like 3 classes. Just because I didn't want the full load of 4, I still wanted to like enjoy my time. So I ended up graduating with a bachelor's in elementary education, which if you scroll through my channel, you'll see that that didn't go so well. But that's okay. Things change. That's like my main thing about this whole video is things change. There are a few things though. I think if you're going into college, there's a few things you need to like really understand. Is that college is hard. It's hard work. Professors expect a lot from you. You're an adult. You should learn how to time manage yourself well enough to perform well in college. So even if you see some videos where people are like, I started crying because it was too hard, no shame. Trust me, I cried many times. But yeah, it's hard. It's not easy, and that's why not everybody can complete it, and that's okay. We're all on our own paths. No shade. I'm just saying. And another thing you should know about college before going in, that it is a sacrifice. You are sacrificing a lot of your personal time to your future endeavors, to your career. So yeah, just understand that you are going to be having to sacrifice some parties, some time with family to put your career, to get your career kind of started. Okay, enough of the intro on me. Pretend like this is like a big sister thing. Am I? Oh yeah, I have a little sister, but she didn't go to college. Well, she didn't finish college, but that's another story. I still love her. Alex, if you're watching, I love you very, very much. She knows. So let's start with my first piece of advice, which is choosing the major you want the first time around. You would rather choose something that your heart is telling you to choose because it's something you find interest in, than having the regret later on that you didn't choose that. I was very much into design and art when I was younger, and because of my silly ways, I didn't do anything. I didn't even take 1 class like that in college. So you'd rather pursue something that you love than having that regret. So I really stress my number 1 advice is to choose what you want to do the first time around. My second piece of advice is to plan long-term goals. And in my notes, I put short-term goals could break your heart, because I think in today and age, we are really focused on short-term goals. How can I make money right now? How can I finish this right now? How can I be up here right now? When we're not planning long-term goals. You know, well, at the end of the year, where do I want to be? At the end of 5 years, where do I want to be? This is super important in college because it has to do a lot with the career you choose. Because if you choose something like you want to be in the medical field, it is going to take a long time. It is. We have friends, me and my fiance have friends who are still not fully doctors and they're 27. And that is perfectly fine. They know what they wanted from the beginning and they stuck with it. And understanding that careers like that do take time. To become a dentist, to become a vet, going into law school, getting into med school. So plan long-term goals. Where do you want to see yourself? Not when you're 25. Where do you want to see yourself when you're 30? Where do you want to see yourself when you're 40? So it's very important to plan long-term goals. Number 3, to work if you can. And if you need to, like some of us, I had to because I had home bills to pay. But if you can, I would work, but work a low stress job. And by that I mean to work something like at the mall or Smoothie King or Subway, and I'm giving you those examples because that's where I worked besides the mall. Because working in those places, usually you work with people who are around your age, and it's a great way to make friends. It's a great way to learn the value of money. It's a great way to learn how to become a good worker. It's a good way to learn how to work with others. And when I think about my times working at those low stress jobs, that was probably like the most fun I would have. I wouldn't really go out to parties and things like that, but I would definitely have a lot of fun at work. And I made some of like the best and funniest friends from those jobs. We may not be in contact anymore, but I will always cherish those memories. So if you can, work a low stress job. All right, piece of advice number 4. Work hard to create a work-life balance. School is not everything, so don't make it everything. It is super important. Am I crooked? Okay. It is super important, but don't make it your whole life. Make sure you make time to spend with your family, to spend with your siblings, your cousins, to make time to spend with your friends. Go to pool parties, go to the movies, hang out, make those connections as well. Because you need to have both. If you're stressing one more than the other, I don't think you're gonna have a great college experience. Even if you're not living on campus. I didn't live on campus, and it was still pretty fun. So make sure you have a great work-life balance. Number 5, take your time. You need to be okay with the fact that this may take longer than you thought. Why? Because you changed. Maybe you change a major, or maybe you're having doubts about what you chose to do and you need time to think. Like I said, from my experience, it took me 6 years. And when I think about it, I'm like, holy shit, that was a long time. But I was okay with it taking that long. There are some moments you have when you want to have your career as soon as possible, but make sure that you have it in your mind that this may take longer. Okay, not everybody finishes in the 4 years that they tell you. They shouldn't even tell you 4 years, because I don't even think like that's accurate. Like how many people actually finish in 4 years? But just take your time. If you can't do full-time classes, it's okay to be part-time. It's okay to take 2 classes at a time. Whatever will get you to your goals, even if it may take longer. Okay, piece of advice number 6. Be involved in your school. Join clubs, join sports, get into sports, join sororities. I don't even know if you can get into sports. I think you gotta like be chosen at that point, but whatever. Those kinds of things help you build connections, help you network. You build really strong friendships, or what I've seen. I have a few people like on Instagram and stuff who were in sororities and they're still friends with those people, and they go on trips. And even when they were in college, they would go on trips and they would hang out. I just think it's really awesome to see, especially you'll notice as an adult, it is very hard to make friends. It's not like high school where you're in class and you can talk to people front of you, back of you, next to you. It's not like that. So making those connections in college by being involved in your school is super helpful. So try it out. Number 7, take advantage what the campus offers. There are so many places to study at a university, even a college. There's libraries, there's study rooms, there's study halls, there's hallways, there's benches, there's tables outside. There's so many places to study. So take advantage of those locations. When I was in college, it was really hard to find a place to sit and do work, do schoolwork. So unfortunately, I learned at the end of my college experience, I discovered the library and how it was so great that I could just sit there and focus on what I was doing for like 3-4 hours. Or I could find a study room and I can sit there again and be in like the zone for a few hours. It was an amazing thing once I figured those out. And not only locations to study, but there are mental health offices, there are doctor offices at universities, usually universities, that can help you with things. Sometimes you may not have insurance outside of school, or you may need a mental health professional, and your university usually offers that. The gym. I loved the gym at my university. I would go to school 2 hours before my class to be able to go to the gym, shower, go to class, or if I couldn't make that, I would go to class and then after stay another 2 hours to be able to go to the gym, shower, and go home. You're already paying for it. It's like included in your tuition, so you might as well use it. And then any other amenities that the school might offer, you need to do your own research on the school, but definitely take advantage of what the school has to offer. Okay, number 8, and my throat is dry as hell. Invest in your education. If you don't have a computer, a laptop, definitely try and get one, because it is one of the most helpful tools. I didn't have my own laptop until I graduated in 2020, so in 2019 I had my own laptop, and before that I was sharing with both my sisters and my mom, and only like when I could get home. So I was like writing everything down in school and like transferring it when I got home. It was a mess. I know Best Buy, that's how I got my computer. Best Buy, I was able to get a credit card from them, and the first year of you making any purchase, the first 12 months, interest free. So if I bought $1,000 laptop that was $1,000, I had 12 months to pay it off piece by piece, interest free. It's a great way to build your credit, and it's just a really handy tool. Get planners if you need to, get calendars. That's what I mean by invest in your education. Make sure you're staying on top of yourself. Make sure you're staying organized. You don't want to fall behind on anything, even though it will happen. That's probably how you're gonna get by. It's by just like skating along. I feel like that's how we all did it, but regardless, if I could go back, I would be different. Number 9, don't make any big purchases. I could be the face of this. When I was, how old was I? I don't remember. 22? 21, 22. I bought a car. I bought a car that was too expensive. It's not even like I didn't buy a BMW, I didn't buy an Audi. I bought a Nissan Sentra. But it was still not in my budget. And I wish somebody would have told me, like, girl, you are going to be working really hard for the next 5 years to pay off this car that you don't need. This not expensive car, but this car that you don't need. It set me back a lot. I ended up having to work 2 jobs and go to school to try and afford the car. It's not even a lot, but in the time it was. So don't make any big purchases that you can't. If you can't make a big purchase, don't do it. I'm telling you from experience, save your money, The little money that you make, go buy makeup, go buy shoes, go buy clothes. You know, have fun with your money. Have like a car that will get you to from point A to point B, and that's it. You don't need anything too fancy that's gonna make you stressed out about having to work and stuff like that. I still had to work a lot because I had, like I said, I had bills at home, but that's the point. Um, yeah, keep your bills loose. That's part of number 9. Keep loose. Keep your bills low. There's no reason for you to be that young to have too many bills under your plate. We are all under different circumstances. So if you don't fall in that category, okay. I didn't fall into that category either, but I'm giving advice to people who I think would fall into that category. Because I know sometimes we even have a kid already. We have a kid in high school and we have to go to college. So number 10 is to don't take yourself so seriously. School is temporary. It's not the end all be all. You're going to finish in a blink of an eye. Before you know it, it's going to be over. So don't put too much weight on it. Make time, like we already talked about earlier. Make time for your friends, make time for your family. I remember this one time when I was, not me getting emotional, when I was working 2 jobs and going to school. And I remember it was April, so like it was perfect weather. Oh my god, what the fuck? And it was like a Saturday and it was just really pretty outside, and my sisters came by the office that I was working at and gave me a smoothie. I wanted to fucking cry because I was like, man, if I didn't put so much work on my plate, I could be outside right now with my sisters doing whatever it is. We could be going to the beach, we could be hanging out. So I remember thinking that in that moment when they came to give me a smoothie, they knew I was struggling, so they gave me a smoothie to cheer me up. So shout out to my sisters, but don't take it too seriously. You should not be going through such a difficult time in college. Give yourself a very easy life. Like I said, follow my tips. Have a low stress job and make sure you're staying organized so that you have time to study, but you also have time for your friends and family. And my last one, and this one popped in my head last minute, that's why I changed it from 10 pieces of advice to 11, is to look into community colleges or smaller colleges. There is no reason for you to be going into a very expensive university right off the bat of high school. Everybody has to take the same courses at the beginning. So you might as well do it at a super discounted price at a community college where you can transfer those credits later on to that university that you want to go to, or to the other local university like I did. The community college I went to was super close to my house, and I was able to get my associate's degree there, transfer that over, and then finish my bachelor's at a university. Don't overlook it. Don't tell yourself that it looks silly that you're going to a community college when that's not the case. You're just making the smarter decision. My older sister didn't go into a community college, and I think she regrets it a little bit. She loves FIU, the school that we graduated from, but I think she would have had an easier time, an easier transition coming from high school, community college, and university. I also have a cousin who I think she's doing okay. I don't know, I haven't talked to her for a while, but she went straight to a high university straight out of high school, and I hope she's doing okay. But if she were to like decide to change her major, it's like another setback, and that school is already expensive. So if you can avoid those super expensive things right off the bat, look into your community colleges, because they're a little messy, but they know what they're doing with that. And with those 11 pieces of advice, I wish nothing but an awesome school year. If you're going into high school, if you're going into college, if you're about to finish college, if you're in your senior year, congrats. But I hope you take some notes on what I said today, because trust me, I've already been through it. So if I've already been through it, you might as well learn from it. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Instagram, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day.